Alright, Shalom. First and foremost, want to say, Call I am Yahweh Shemiel Shab Shemal Kakwadash, and double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone GMS who do rule and teach well. Alright, Brother Tazapanya out here with another lesson. We're going to go into, this topic I found, Hebrew calendar on Wikipedia.org. Just kind of go over a couple things. Right, so the Hebrew calendar, it's called the Jewish calendar, is a lunar solar calendar, right, which they try to go back and say that, that the pretty much a calendar that uses 365 days out of the year, accounting as a year, using the using the moon primarily, but also taking account of things like the solstices and whatever, when the sun is at a particular positions and whatever, right? So you have divide the years into months. There's a requirement, a whole number of months, moon cycles, but the majority of years have 12 months. But every second or third year is an ambrosial year, which adds a 13th intercalary and basilica leap or leap month, Slakia, which that doesn't appear in the scriptures. It doesn't say that we have a 13th month, right? I don't know where they get that from. Even the article has that there, right? That it's not mentioned in the scriptures, right? So, but we do use the moon, and I'm gonna pull that up a little bit later on. That's just gonna be like the main thing we'll pull up. Right, but to go into that lunar solar calendar, lunar solar year, we should really just say it's just a lunar calendar, because that's all we use, right? Going off the new moon and things like that, right? So, you don't have to go into all this. So history, so they talk about the 13th month thing. Biblical references to the pre-exilic calendar include 10 of the 12 months identified by number rather than by name, right? So prior to the Babylonian captivity, right? Prior to the Babylonian captivity, the names of only 4 months: Aviv, Ziv, Ethanim, and Bul. All these are believed to be Canaanite names. The last 3 of these are to be mentioned in connection with the building of the first temple. It's just that what we use are rarely used Canaanite of Ethanim, perhaps Northwest Semitic names. The authors constantly. Well, Canaanite is Hebrew. All right, let's be clear. All right, and we were speaking Hebrew. All right, so it's just it's just Hebrew, right? Paleo Hebrew, and that's not a Canaanite language. All right, that's not. It got nothing to do with them, right? Even the word, Hebrew, was a Baryath. It goes by type bar and everything. Not saying that he made the language, because he always spoke Hebrew, right? That's been around since the beginning. When the language is split, off from Hebrew, right? Because before that split of the languages, right, men called in the name of the Lord. What's the name of the Lord? It's in Hebrew, right? Yahweh. It's always been Yahweh. Okay, it's never changed. Okay, it wasn't a different name, and then we got a different name. No, it was none of that. It was just Yahweh, right? You just Exodus 6 says, "What was I not known?" You gotta do a little digging. You go to where Nawad the Aithia, and where Nawad the Aithia means not famous or well known. Right? When you go into these different dictionaries and things like that, doesn't mean the name was not known, just wasn't famous. Right? But now we know 100% that's the name, right? It's always been, right? Abraham called it a name, right? And so on and so forth, right? So, during the Babylonian captivity, the Jewish people adopted the Babylonian names for the month The Babylonian calendar descended from the Sumerian calendar. The month names are Nisan, Iyar, Tammuz, Ab, Elul, Tishri, and Adar. Right, so on and so forth. Right, and, you see these things come up in the scriptures. Kislev and Adar and things like that. Right, and they had numbering years because that was the way we did things. Years, year numbers. The first year of this king and the king of this one, and then they did use some Greek things as well. So moving on, determine a new month in the Mishnaic period, right? And that actually goes back to Amalek, right, in their writings, right? That's just, you could just say the time of the scriptures, right? It had nothing to do with Amalek and their rabbis in the 1st century AD and the nonsense that they were coming up with, okay? It got nothing to do with them. The Tanakh contains several commandments related to the keeping calendar and lunar cycle and record changes that have taken place in the Hebrew calendar. Numbers 10:10, the importance in Israelite observance of the new month, Rosh Chodesh. So let's go take a look at Numbers 10, see what it says. Here's the book of Numbers 10:10. Also in the day of gladness, in your solemn days, in the beginning of your months, you shall blow a trumpet over your birth offerings and the sacrifice of peace offerings that shall be to you a memorial before your power and the Lord your power. Alright, so that's the new month, the beginning of the month. So let's go look in Hebrew. Alright, so let's do a little researching. Okay, so this is a part of in our ways, we're called to be researchers. Not saying that we gotta be like these Edomites and shit, but we gotta, that's part of really dividing the word of truth. You gotta look into things. So you gotta, you can't be, sluggards or lazy. Okay, so let's see at the beginning. In the beginning is Rosh, your months. I think that's Kadash. Chadash. It's not the full thing. Yeah, I think that is the full thing. Yeah, Kadash. So, new moon. First day of the month. The lunar month. The new moon. And you saw exactly right. The new moon. The day of the new moon. The calendar of the lunar month, which is the festival of the ancient Hebrews. Well, they're not ancient. They're still around. Alright? And no people is really ancient. The same people that were around back then, same people here. They may call themselves by different things, right? We're in the land of our captivity. It was 1 and 10. They would tell us that we are not the sons of the Most High, but we are sons of the Most High, right? And that goes back to Ezekiel 37. Ezekiel 37, us coming back to who we are and learning. Hey, we are this way. Ain't no nigga, ain't no spick or whatever, right? Or if you're this life foreigner, you learn that whatever you were, whatever they told you were, you weren't. Period of a month. So yeah. But yeah, I believe let's actually do a little bit more here, right? Rosh. This is Rosh. This means head, right? Head. Let's see here, head, renew yourself, Kadash, rebuild, head, new moon, the lunar month. See here, months, 3 months, so it could also be months, right? So head month, that's all it is. Rosh Kadash, head month. Let's see where it shows up. We'll see. I'm not the best with the Hebrew. Let's see here, Rosh. Is this it? And the beginnings. Okay, so this is Riyashia. This looks like Riyashia of your month. So let's see. Head of months. Head month, new moon. Okay, that's what it is. Alright, and they're all in agreement. It's the new moon. Okay, so moving on. Right. Okay, let's go back to history. Right. Right. So, In your new moons, you shall blow the trumpets of burnt offerings, right? Similarly, in the between month, the beginning of the month, meant the appearance of a new moon. And Exodus 12 and 2, this month is to you. Right? So that one is Exodus 12 and 2. Let's see if we can find it. Oh boy. Okay. Wow, I can't. It's actually nothing for me to see here. Can I? Okay. Yeah. This month shall be to you the beginning of month. It shall be the first month to you. Right? Speaking. Yeah, it's all talking about the Passover, right? This month shall be the beginning unto you, the beginning of months. Right? The new moon. Right? That decides it. Right? 13 days after, right? Every man takes him a lamb, right? And then on the 14th day in the same month, right, they kill it. Okay, so that's all going into the new moon. Okay, Rosh Chadash, right? All right. Let's see here. They go into the new moon and things like that. And also with our days, we didn't have days like a Monday, right? Which these days all go back to these different Roman and like Greek gods, and I think some are different false gods. So some are like was it Celtic or whatever the hell it is, right? Norse gods, right? Thor's Day, and all this stuff. Mundus was the god of the world or something, right? And all these months too. We just said the first month, the second month, and you just use the the new moon to kind of guide you what month we're in, and you could just come from there. That Passover comes around the spring, so in springtime and everything, and for the number of the month that it is, that we're in the Passover. And that's part of our ways is keeping these times, right? Let's see here. They kind of go into it, but maybe this was pretty much, the beginning of the month, right? Rosh Chodesh, beginning of the month, new moons, right? You shall blow the trumpets over your burnt offerings, right? So new moons, pretty much. Select the appearance of the moon from a collection of drawings that depict the crescent in a very orientation. Was for witnesses. So let's see here. In the Herodian, Maccabean, and Mishnaic periods, new months were determined by sightings of a new crescent with 2 eyewitnesses. Oh, so they would look at the moon, right, to the Sanhedrin to see the new lunar crescent at sunset. The practice in the time of Gamaliel II, right, circa AD 1 AD, right, it's fucking looking like a Melechite. Oh, wait. War against the Romans. Nope, I don't think he was an Amalekite. 100 CE.